Everyone, it's Yvonne here to do the reading for the lovely sign of Leo. I'm going to do a bit of a spiel at the beginning. So firstly, thank you so much for subscribing. The channel has grown a lot over the last few weeks, so I want to say thank you to the new people on board for joining, and of course, as always, to the loyal subscribers. You know how much I appreciate you. If you are interested in a personal reading with me, my website is now up and running at www.theaussiegoddess@gmail.com. All the readings I offer there, the face-to-face, phone, Zoom, Teams, whatever you need, there should be a reading that will suit your needs, including recorded readings where you can ask questions. Not that you can't ask questions on the others anyway. I just think the recorded ones are really good if you want specific answers and you want to go back and have a look at them. So if you are interested in having a membership with me or joining me on the channel, you will need to do that on the actual YouTube website, otherwise the buttons don't show up underneath. So please check into that, and I am grateful for your support. Now, I think that's everything. I'm using new decks today, so I am using the that's not the Animal Spirit. I bought both of the ones out from this deck, the Wild Unknown Tarot. And I'll be pulling a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle. There we go. So Leo, if you are a Leo and you identify as a Leo, it's more than likely you're using your sun sign. And just be aware that there are a lot of other signs in your chart that were there when you were born that make up who you are. Now, not everybody knows this, and I do talk about it every time. So if you haven't done it yet, you can go to Google and Google natal chart or birth chart, put in all the details of your birth. If you have your time of birth, even better, because you can get your rising or your ascendant, and get a report, print it out, read it. It's really quite eye-opening. But the thing is, ultimately, it means you can watch other signs too. So I've always encouraged my watchers to do that, because I know from experience that although I'm a Capricorn sun and I identify as a Capricorn, my moon sign, which is in Libra, resonates with me far more. And sometimes Scorpio, which is my rising, will sometimes resonate more. But there have been times when I've watched other signs and thought, wow, this reading really sounds like my reading. And when I've listened to the end of it, it's something that I've not really identified with. So I go back and look at that natal chart. I do have like some Cancer. I have quite a lot of Sagittarius. So it's quite interesting though. So it sort of opens you up to a little bit more of a range of who you are as a person, sort of keeping in mind that your main signs, the moon, the sun, and your rising, are all aspects of your personality. Alrighty, let's get into this reading, Leo. We do have a different deck. So, okay, so we're starting off with the Ten of Swords. Now, for me, the Ten of Swords, not only is it about an ending, it's also about ending something negative. It's something that you are glad to leave behind. You could have ended something like negative thinking, ending some aspect of yourself. This is what I would see if I felt that you'd given up smoking. But something you're ending that is negative for you. So it's been something that perhaps you've got taken a little bit of time to get to this point. All right, so we have the Temperance. I love this. All right, giving up coffee was really, really difficult for me. But when I gave it up, I actually found I slept better. I was less temperamental. I just felt so much more comfortable in my own skin. And I'm looking at that thinking, whatever you've given up or given away here, Leo, you are going to feel so much better about it. Now, it could be something like a friendship, a relationship, we'll see as we go, but whatever it is, Seven of Pentacles. So you've been working on something for a while. That's the Three of Wands. You've been looking at the future, and the Justice card is right here. So you could have finally, you know, sometimes when I see that sort of energy, I think, have you finally decided to stand up for yourself in a situation where you need to sort of, I don't want to say pull rank, but maybe get somebody on side with you that can sort of back you up. So it's sort of that situation when you're at work and you're in trouble with a person at work and you've done everything you can to try and straighten it out, but now I'm going to go to HR and say, I cannot deal with this person. I need to have some help. Whatever it is here, it's like a situation is coming to the end. Now, it could be as extreme as looking for legal advice on a work situation or work cover. It could be that you're trying to close out a relationship with somebody that's a friend, or a situation where you do not feel that you want to continue with something. But to me, it makes me feel like you're going the extra energy to pull in something or somebody to get your point across. If it's the end of a romantic relationship, it might be that you are being well prepared to say, I don't want to be with you anymore, and this is what I need to say. But there's a preparation coming through. Now, I did get this a little bit with the What's Cracking reading, like this idea of really looking at your options and preparing for leaving something behind. Because I feel like somehow you may have been in a situation that could have been quite negative, quite toxic, and you need to finish it off the best way you can. So if you're anything like me, if I go out the door without saying anything, sometimes I find that easier, but it plays on my mind that I didn't stand up, or I didn't speak up, or I didn't say what was bothering me. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you can do those things and you might feel better, but it doesn't really change anything that organization or that person or whatever was doing. But to me, it makes me feel like you're really planning something to make sure that you've got it right. Now, you have the Empress coming through with the Two of Cups. So I feel like it has, and the Ten of Cups. And the Daughter of Swords, or the Page of Swords. We have the Six of Wands. I like that energy. There's a victory card here with the Eight of Wands. Communication. There it is. All right. And we have the Lovers card. I feel like you're making a choice with the Lovers card and the Two of Cups here to walk away from something. Perhaps a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The Towers here giving rise to Scorpio and Aries energy. And we have the Chariot coming right through at the front. So now, if you have a look at this, it's sort of like you've got your ducks in a row here and your chariot is ready to go. So I feel like you've been pondering this for a long time. This isn't a snap decision making. This is something you have planned. So if it's a relationship, you may have put a lot of thought into how to get away from someone. So you may have been dealing with somebody quite toxic here. Whatever this situation is, I feel like with that Empress coming up at the beginning, it's like you have stepped into your own temperance here. The time is right. You have, decided you're going to do something. You've got everything together, everything prepared, and you're moving forward. I didn't get romance with the What's Cracking reading in so much as it was time to go. It was sort of like a work energy. The energy is almost exactly the same here. You are moving towards your two of Cups and your Ten of Cups. So there is something here in a situation that isn't serving you. So it could be that you're in love with someone and you're in a relationship and everything is amazing, but maybe, there's something in this relationship that you need to put an end to in order to move forward. But there's definitely forward movement. But you see, when I get the Tower, I know that something has to change in order to get your chariot moving. Something has to change. There is an energy here with that sort of Six of Wands energy and the Eight of Wands energy that there's victory around communication. We do have the Lovers here, so I do feel that it's almost like you're on the path ready to make that decision. So for me, you could be dealing with Aries, because we do have quite a lot of Aries energy here, but it's almost like some sort of conversation needs to take place, or something needs to take place in order for this to go. I'm going to get some more cards. So there's an ending, but I feel like you feel really good about this ending, but it might be an ending to a chapter, not a complete ending, because you have this energy of sort of moving forward still. So with this here, it's almost like there's something that you need to learn around a situation that you need to speak up about before it goes any further. And I know that we all do the same thing. You sort of think, do I speak up and say something now? Is it going to create too much friction? Maybe they won't listen to what I've got to say, so we just keep going. And I feel like for some of you that may be in a work situation. but it's almost like you need to speak up for yourself before moving forward. All right, I'm just going to put some more cards out. All right, have the Death cards. There's definitely change coming with the Lovers card right next to it, and that Two of Cups and the Page of Swords. So there's definitely a communication that needs to take place. I don't think it's the end of this situation for some of you, although it might be for some of you. Maybe you can't get a response. Maybe things don't go down so well. But to be honest with you, I feel like that conversation will change the way your person sees things. Now, if this isn't romantic, then it can be a close friendship or a close relationship with someone. But it's almost like you've got to have this conversation to be able to move it forward. You know, some people you're never going to have that relationship with, and maybe that's still a 10 of Cups for you and still a victory to walk away from them. You know, sometimes we just have to agree to disagree. Some people can be extremely pricky and hard to deal with. Prickly, not pricky, but perhaps pricky is not a bad explanation either. But some people just refuse to change. Like, I know I've got a person around me at the moment that likes to boss rather than ask, and I find that really a little intimidating, but not in a sense that I'm intimidated by the person, but I feel like it's like you're being taken for granted, and I don't like that. So it's, you know, what do you do under those circumstances? You know, if people can't respect you, then probably you'd be better pulling back and not doing what you are intending to do. But like I said earlier, sometimes we need to speak up so that we feel better about ourselves. So whatever this is, I feel like it's going to be a tremendous improvement either on the situation or on you. So maybe you get to walk away feeling fulfilled with what you've done, regardless of what's happening here. All right, let's pull you an oracle card from the Wisdom of the Oracle, which still remains one of my favourite oracle decks. Okay, I'm just going to pull one out at random. Chop wood. Oh, there you go. Now that's good advice for anybody there. So chop wood is sort of that card where it tells you to sort of sit and, you know, take your time with something. But I'm going to read it to you anyway. Being grounded in everyday experience and humanity. The Oracle's message says, there are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. I'm going to read the relationship message though. Nothing is as important right now as just doing what you need to do day to day. Let your heart remember that not everything has to be hard won, passionate, or even obviously meaningful. Relationships and friendships go through lulls when the everyday tasks are at the centre of awareness. That is perfect now. Hold hands, wash dishes, make a fire, read a book, share a meal, say nothing, stare into space, pick up socks, tell a dumb joke, and leave space to breathe. The work of your relationship right now is simply just to be present. Funny how it takes work to just be. All is well, really. So I feel like what it's saying to you here is maybe not quite the right time to sort of get angry and upset about things, but maybe it is a good time to really just sit back and just see how this all unfolds. But for me, I feel like there's something you need to say, get off your chest, or talk about. It's almost like if you walk away from this situation as it is, then you are never going to save face. And I know that it's pride that makes us want to stand up for ourselves, and it isn't always beneficial. And sometimes, honest to goodness, I'd be the first person to say to you, just walk away, don't say a word, just go, just leave it all behind you. Because if you say something to those particular people, you are just going to get a load of hoo-ha coming back at you. But sometimes it feels good just to express yourself. Sometimes it feels good to just say, I'm really angry at the moment and I'd like to say this to you. Or I feel like you don't always listen to what I've got to say and I need to speak it out myself now. I think sometimes we need to do those things, but sometimes we do need to quietly just walk away and count our blessings. I think it depends on who you're dealing with. I think it depends on what sort of relationship you have with that person. But honestly, there are times when you really do need to speak up for yourself. And I don't know, Just kick it. Like, I just think that sometimes you need to say what's on your mind, even if you know that someone's not going to respond well. Some people are just narcissists. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.